You know, I know there's a guy, we talked about this earlier before we did this interview, I believe his name is Mitch Gaynor, and he's done some amazing research with cancer and sound frequencies and sound healing.
Yes.
So has this been effective with cancer?
Very much so, yeah. Dr. Mitchell Gaynor, he's a oncologist in New York City, and he's written some books. And he usually uses Tibetan bowls. But he significantly improved the recovery of cancer patients.
You know, when we were talking about him, and I wrote this down, so I hope it's okay if I read this. I'm just going to grab this. Because when you said this, I thought this was so profound. But, you know, like you said, he's an oncologist. And what he wrote was, I love this quote, he believes that the vibration affects the dysrhythmic motion of cancer cells. And what I make up about that is they're just buzzing all over the place until they're just they're not a match anymore for the body.
Well, yeah, and you hear all the time that we all have cancer cells in our bodies. And what they are is confused cells. And if we can bring those, as we said, cells back to harmony, cells back to their correct vibration, seeking that, then it can really help. Now, in my experience, I did go through breast cancer 2 years ago, and my practitioner, who is also my teacher, Acutonics teacher, but she's an acupuncturist, she gave me 2-for-1s while I was going through chemo and my surgeries, and of course you're taking painkillers, and then they've got you, you know, there's all sorts of drugs involved. And it really helps with energy. People would look at me and say, "You're not going through chemo." You know, they couldn't believe it, and my energy was good. So because of that, I wanted to give back, and when my practice allows, I take on some pro bono cancer patients. And the way it's worked, I've had I've had women with breast cancer, and they felt the same way. Their energy was improved. It just helps with what's going on with their bodies. We're not trying to get rid of the chemo because you need it in your body, but it just helps balance your energy a little bit and helps you sleep. There's a lot of sleep deprivation with that.
So it sounds to me like while your body is going through this, because it's intense, going through the chemo, your body is responding and reacting to all these different medications, but it sounds to me like this is a really great support
Exactly.
to the chemo to get back to, while my body's going through all this, I get to have some sense of well-being and vitality and energy and get on with my life. I can still be productive and move forward.
It does just help support, you know, your liver while it's going through this. Your poor liver is just getting racked, and all your organs really. It just helps support all that and give you more energy and feel better. And it's great for kids. Kids love it.
Oh, I bet.
I've worked with little children, like 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds. They love it. They love the sound of the forks. Their faces get all excited, and you put the forks on their body and they smile. And I've really helped kids. Well, a lot of people have helped kids. Personally, I've helped with anxiety and chronic coughing, and asthma is such a big deal with children right now, and they're taking, the steroids with the inhalers. You just don't know what long-term effect that will be. And asthma is a kidney and lung deficiency, so it's a good thing to work on that to help with the asthma. But they love the forks. Yeah, so it works on a lot of internal medicine things, and as far as physical, bone, muscle, tendons, blood stagnation, scars and wrinkles. I learned a facial technique from a woman named Mary Elizabeth Wakefield. She's an acupuncturist from New York City who studied Acutonics, and she was doing acupuncture facelifts. And she thought, instead of having all these needles in your face, wouldn't it feel great to have the forks on your face? And because your head is like a giant chamber for resonation, and then it's just a very pleasant experience. So I do those too. It's called facial soundscapes, and it feels good. It's a whole body. It's actually a whole body experience, because I work on meridians first, because that's based on the Chinese 5-element constitution also. So you kind of work on what their physiognomy is, and work on the meridians, and then we do the actual facial.
It's, you know, natural, this word natural just keeps coming up for me, because it really, like when you said to me, oh, your body's really absorbing this Jupiter, I think it was, and I was like, it just made such perfect sense, because I was like, well, yeah, my body is in a deficiency of this frequency. I need this energy, I need this vibration to jumpstart. You know, when our car battery dies, we put the red and the black and we hook it up to another car and we jumpstart it.
That's a good analogy.
It kind of felt like that for me. Like I was, oh yeah, well I'm not having that frequency in my body that fixes this part, or that keeps this part functioning and keeps me in well-being. And all I need is to pump up that frequency a little bit. So
yeah.
And we are all energy. I know I keep saying that, but we are energy. I mean, we're energy, we're frequency, we're vibration, and we're healing ourselves with recreating or helping our body to remember the frequency vibration that it needs to be at in order to create well-being. It seems like we're reminding our body what to do. Is that kind of true?
Well, yeah, and the sound healing itself is such an ancient modality. I mean, you think of all the different, I mean, Hindu, Sufis, Native Americans, Catholic monks, they have all used sound healing forever and still, and all the different modalities for sound healing. You've got drumming, rattles,
chanting.
We use chanting. Yes, the voice is huge. Think about what Emoto's doing with the water and the crystals. That's just sound vibration. You know, it's sound affecting the water, which is in our body. So
Right.
it's a very important. The sound is very important to us. We all need that, and it's all around us. And to bring it more into our bodies in whatever way we do, and the forks are brilliant for that. The sound healing is great for balancing and grounding. Great for grounding. And that's another important thing with all the fear going on now. We need to be grounded. And I keep seeing this on your shows. The several shows I've watched of yours, it was grounding and vibration. It's all about it, you know, to help us get through these times. And
that's what everybody's saying, is to get into the dirt, feel the dirt, lay in the dirt, get into the ground, and get
over
grounded,
and over again.
you know.
Yeah.
And that's what I guess, just as a closing statement from me, is that it felt like it put my body into perfect balance. You know, I love the word homeostasis. It just means perfect balance. When all your organs are functioning perfectly, everything, there's a sense of well-being and peace. And that's what I felt like during and especially after the session. And it's been long term. I mean, it's been a couple of weeks, and I still feel great. I still feel the benefit of those frequencies in my body. It sort of put me back into alignment, and I guess my body said, yeah, I remember this. This feels really good, and I've been able to hold that. So
remembrance, yep.
Yeah, like my body remembered where it was. Oh yeah, that's right. That's where you need to be to feel better.
Going back to natural harmony.
Harmony, there's that word again. Harmony, balance, grounding. There's just this wonderful synergy with all of this. So cool. And if you'd like to find out more information, again, you have a beautiful office. I believe it's Studio 11, is that correct?
Studio 11 Healing Arts. It's over near Canyon Road. And I share the space with Jan Lanning, who is an Acutonics practitioner. She teaches Acutonics, and she does Reiki. And then recently, Wendy Jordan joined us, who is a Reiki master.
It's, you know, first of all, I've met all of them, and they've all been at the expo. It's beautiful, sacred space that you've created there. I know I just want to keep going back to that space just to be there. You know, it was beautiful.
Well, come
it
back
felt really good. I know. I'm already telling everyone, you need to go try this. You need to go check this out.
I love it.
Because when I have results like that, it's pretty profound, and
Yeah.
and I get pretty excited about it. So is there some way that people, if they have more questions that we haven't covered, or they just want to get deeper into an issue or talk to you about their particular issue, what's a really good way to get in touch with you?
Yeah, so my website is www.vital, then there's a dash, vibration.com. No S on vibration. Vital
Spell that across the screen.
Vibration.com.
Okay, great. And through that, there's a contact number, there's a phone
Yes.
number that they can call you if they
Email,
want, or
yes.
they can email you.
Yes.
Great. So perfect. I'll put that up on the screen again. If you have any questions about Acutonics, definitely go to Ellen's website, contact her. I make up, just because of how much we've talked about this, that you love what you do and you love to talk about it so much. And thank you so much for being on the show. I really appreciate it.
It was a pleasure.
Yeah, and I'm excited about getting some more sessions with you. I'm excited about just exposing people to a whole new modality that's fun, easy, effective, and it feels really good. It just doesn't get any better than that. So thanks again for watching. If you want to get in touch with me, you can reach me at www.mitchfriedman1. So that's mitchfriedman1.com. Or you can check out itsyourmindthatmatters.com, and that's another great way to reach me. I'm looking forward to hearing from everybody about the show, about Acutonics, about anything. And you all have a great evening. Thank you again, Ellen, for joining us today.
Thanks, Mitch.
And we'll see you next week. Thanks.